right? Today we're going to focus more on reading a problem and writing an inequality for it. So let's just review our different meanings for our inequality symbols here. Help us refresh our memory. So we're just going to go from left to right. Asia, what does this first symbol mean? Less than. Yep, this is less than. And this is all in your, this is in day 1 of your packet too. So if you're like not sure, go back and look. Look at your 2.1 notes. So this is less than. Does anyone remember what else we said for this? Asia? Fewer than. Good. So this could mean less than or fewer than. I'll highlight that one in blue. This one I'm also going to put in blue because it looks kind of similar, but isn't there a bar underneath it? Yeah, so what's going to change about this one? What would we call this? Dallas? Yeah, this is less than or equal to. Good. Asia, another one? At most. Good. And then there is another one too. Lynn? No more than. Very good. Now, some of those other ones sometimes throw people off, but just put it in context of something, right? If I say you have to be less than or equal to 6 feet to ride the roller coaster, that would mean the same thing if I said you have to be at most 6 feet, right? That means 6 feet is my maximum, so that's okay, or less. No more than 6 feet, right? Again, same idea. So when you're just looking at the phrases by themselves, they can sound a little tricky, but if you put them in context of something, that should be helpful. All right, so then number 4, not number 4, I don't know why I'm saying number 4. I don't even know where that came from. But we have this symbol now. So what would we call this one, Asia? Yeah, this one is greater than. Good. Good. What else can we call it other than greater than? Mason? More than. Good. Very good. Yep. Because think about with the less than, right? It was fewer than. The opposite of that would be more than. Very good. What about this last symbol with the bar underneath it? Again, very similar, but now we have the bar. Asia. Greater than or equal to? Good. What else? Think about, compare it to this less than or equal to. If we could say at most, what do you think the opposite of at most would be? At least. Right? You have to be greater than or equal to 4 feet to ride the roller coaster. You have to be at least 4 feet to ride the roller coaster. I don't know why that's roller coasters where my head always goes to with that, but it works out. Asia, what's the last one? No less than. Good. Excellent. So that's just a little review of those. So we reviewed what our inequalities mean. Let's review some math action words, because then for our word problems, we're going to have to put these two things together to write our inequalities. So math action words, what are some math action words that could mean this symbol here? I'm not going to read it to you because that'll give you one, right? Dallas? Sum, sure. SUM though, right? The sum of two numbers. Asia? Plus. If I say x plus 7, right? What else? Come on, guys. We all know what this symbol is. Lynn? Add. What's another option? What else could we say that would maybe mean add, plus, or sum? Asia? Oh, okay. What if I said more? Right? There are 5 more than there were yesterday. Wouldn't you add 5? Yeah. Another word that means add is total. The total cost was $37. That means if I take all my items and I add them up, that'll give me my total cost of 37. Good. Jaden, you alive in there, bud? Okay. You're like turtling inside of your shirt. Yes, Corey. And I think it would have to have another word with it, you know, like and 5 more. So like and more just tells you you're talking about 2 things, but you could be adding or subtracting, but that's a good idea. I think these are our main ones at least. But what about like for this sign here? What would we say for this one? Subtract, yeah. Sure. Subtract, take away. Sure, decrease. I like that one. Anyone else have another idea? Asia? Less? Yeah, there are 5 less than there were yesterday. You would subtract. Any other ideas? Corey? Minus, absolutely. Ooh, except that doesn't look like a minus because my handwriting is questionable. What did you say, Dallas? What is? Okay. What if I said difference? The difference of 2 numbers, right? That means subtract. Those are the main ones. All right, what does this next symbol mean? Multiply or multiplication, yep. So what are some other words that could mean multiply? Asia? Per. Per is a good one. We see that a lot in our word problems, right? Like $5 per hour. That means 5 times the number of hours, Corey? Times, absolutely. Any other ideas? There's a P word that means multiply. Product, good. What if I said, is there a fancy way to say times 2? That would be times itself. Twice. What if I said twice? Right? Doesn't that technically mean times 2? Or what if I said double? Doesn't that also mean times 2? Right? And you could do that with other things like triple, quadruple, right? Things like that. Good. And then what about this last one? Divide. Is there a fancy word for divide that starts with the letter Q? Quotient. Good. Any other ideas? Division's a little harder. There aren't as many good options. Well, you'd have to say like something before that. It's like a connecting word, you know, but something you could say with that is split, right? If I split something, then I'm technically dividing it. Or half, right? Doesn't half mean divide by 2? Right, those are really all I can think of for divide. There's not as many. Good, so let's look at some word problems. So, write the sentence as an inequality. We are going to circle our numbers and box our math action words. So, a number plus 8 is greater than 11. Where are my important numbers? 8 and 11. Was I given a variable in this one? No, but can I make up whatever variable I want then? Yeah, because it just says a number. A number means pick a letter that you want. It doesn't matter, okay? So I'll even circle a number because that just tells us, hey, pick a variable for that. All right, where are my math action words? What did you say, Alex? Plus. Plus means add, right, Corey? Greater than, that's one of our inequalities, right? That one points to the right. Is greater, the is would kind of go with the greater than, since it's an inequality, like is greater than. Good. So now let's write this. For the first place I would start with these, like before how we started with our equal sign, I would start with your inequality symbol. So greater than, if you get confused, you can always go up to the top and you'd see greater than is pointing to the right. So I'm going to put my inequality symbol. A number plus 8 is greater than 11. So it wants you to start with a number, right? Does it specify? If it doesn't specify, what do we get to do? Yeah, we can use a variable. And yes, Mason, that is true. Thrice would also work. You can use a variable. Pick any letter you want. I'll just use X. And then what are we doing with X? We're going to add 8 to it. So X plus 8 is greater than what number? 11. And we just needed to write these. We don't need to solve them, so we're done there. Good. Jaden, you getting any of this written down? Yeah, you're just like in your brain. Is your brain like transferring it to the paper? That's amazing. I want that ability. Will you teach me? Okay, thank you. All right, so number 2, a number minus 3 is at least -5. Where are my important numbers? 3 and 5? Oh, 3 and -5. Yeah, and I'm also going to circle a number because we don't know what our variable is. Let's find our math action words. Jaden, I would say if you're not going to at least do this and finish your homework or something, do something. Anything. Yeah, good. Minus means subtract, right? What else? Corey? At least. Yeah, is at least. And if you go up, if you're like, I don't know what at least means. Yeah, go to your chart here. At least means greater than or equal to. So we use that symbol. So I'm going to start with my symbol. At least is the same as greater than or equal to. Would I probably have that chart handy when you take your test? I probably would. Yeah, you're allowed to, so that's fine. Okay, so a number minus 3 is at least 5. So a number, do we know what it is? Yeah, assign it a variable, x. Minus 3, how would we write that? Minus 3, right? Subtract 3. Is at least, what do I need to put on the other side? -5, and then we're done. Good. All right, let's find our important numbers. Twice a number is no more than 10. Asia. Yeah, a number. We don't know what it is. What else? 10. All right, where are my important math action words? Twice. What does twice mean, Dallas? Yeah, multiply by 2. Good. What else? No more than. No more than is going to be our inequality, right? What do you do if you don't know what no more than means? Look at the chart. No more than. Which one does that mean? Less than or equal to, right here. Very good. Less than or equal to. So put your less than or equal to symbol. That's not a very nice one, though. All right, less than or equal to twice a number. Twice a number. Do we know what the number is? No, but we need to do twice it, right? How do you think I could write twice a number? Lynn? 2x, very good. 2x, or whatever variable you want to use, is no more than, so we already have our inequality symbol, and then what do we need to put on the right? 10. Excellent. All right. We're going to do number 4 together, and then I'm going to have you guys try 5 and 6, okay? So number 4, 6 is less than or equal to the sum of a number and 15. Where are my important numbers? 15, Dallas said 6. Anything else? We also have a number, right? We don't know what that is. Assign it a variable. Any math action words? Yeah, less than or equal to. That's all one thing because that's our inequality. Less than or equal to. I heard Dallas say the sum. What does a sum mean, Dallas? You add. And less than or equal to, what direction does that point? To the left, right? It does point to the left. And then does it need a bar underneath it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, so less than or equal to. So 6 is less than or equal to. So what needs to go on the left with this one? 6 is less than or equal to. Yeah, just 6. 6 would just be on the left here, actually, because it says if you look at your order, 6 is less than or equal to. So that means 6 and then your inequality symbol. Does that kind of make sense, though, with how it's worded? I know it's not normally the order you write it in, but since it specifically says 6 and then gives you your inequality, that's how you would write it for this one. You are, but you'd have to flip your symbol, too. So that would be the only thing you need to be careful of. And then the sum of a number and 15. How do you think I'd write the sum of a number and 15? What plus 15, though? Sure, your variable and then plus 15. Let's go over these. The quotient of a number and 3 is no less than 8. Bailey, what did you write down for number 5? Good. Well, yeah, so is no less than, we would write, it's the, you wrote the correct one, you just said the wrong one. It's the greater than or equal to sign. Yeah. So x divided by 3 is technically greater than or equal to 3, because if you go up to your chart, no less than, think of like no less than, it's not less than, so it's greater than, right? So greater than or equal to 8. Good. Did we get that one right? Yes, I saw you wrote it as a fraction, Asia. That's perfectly fine too. So yeah, if you're at home and you wrote it as x divided by 3 like this, that is also good. That means the same thing. And then number 6, the difference of a number and 9 is fewer than 4. Somebody at home, how did you do number 6? X minus 9 is less than 4. Perfect, Aaron. Sounds good. Any questions about those? We are looking at solving real-life word problems. So if you're at home, make sure you're back with us. Okay. Solving real-life word problems. Little hint here. Got to make sure we define a variable with these, because if we're doing word problems, we're solving for a variable. So first question says, a circuit overloads at 1800 watts of electricity. You plug a microwave oven, you plug in, it should say, a microwave oven that uses 1100 watts of electricity into the circuit. Write and solve an inequality that represents how many watts you can add to the circuit without overloading it. So part of this is just knowing how to solve your inequality, right? So let's go through and let's identify our important numbers. So what are some important numbers in number 1? Asia? Yep, 1,800 watts. What else? Asia? 1,100 watts, and that's about it. Now, any important math action words or words that might help us write our inequality? Not quite a math action word, but there is a helpful word here. Corey? Well, we are going to use, are you looking, into the circuit, this one? Yeah, so Mike, that uses so we have to think of that like, yes, it is taking up that, but the really key word here would be overloads. Exactly. Because if it overloads at that, can it go more than that? No. So if you're not sure what inequality symbol that could maybe represent, let's go up to our chart. And if our circuit is going to overload at 1800, are we allowed to go more than 1800? And it also specifically says at 1800, right? So yeah, so it can't, so with this, if it hits 1800, isn't it going to overload? So do we ever want it to hit 1800? So do we want it to be able to be equal to? No, because if it hits it, it's going to overload, right? It's going to break that circuit. So we want this to be less than or fewer than, okay? Because we want it to be underneath 1800. So that's the inequality symbol we're going to use here. So put your inequality symbol, we're using a less than, because we want it to stay under 1800, right? If we want it to stay under 1800, then put your 1800 on the right. And we got to think, okay, what's my circuit have going on so far? Well, we plugged that microwave into it, right? And that's 1100 watts. But is that its maximum? Is that all it can take? No, it wants to know what else I can plug in, right? But do we know what else we can plug in yet? Not yet. So what do we assign it? Yeah, a variable. So you can do, I'm going to do W for watts. You can do X if you want. So I'm going to say W equals the watts. I want to figure out how many more watts I can plug into this circuit without it overloading. Move this over. Okay. So I know that I already have 1100 watts in it. Am I going to add more watts to it? Am I going to subtract watts from that? I want to add. I'm already at 1100. I want to see how much more I can add. So I'm going to then add W. I want to see how many more watts will work. Okay. So then to solve this, what would I need to do? Yep. Yep, very good. This is part of my answer, but then I'm going to subtract. Good. And when I subtract, I'm going to get W is less than 700, and that is the other part of my answer. So whatever we plug in needs to be less than 700 watts. So question B, it says, in addition to the microwave, which of the following appliances can you plug into the circuit at the same time without overloading it? So let's take a look at my options. Which ones could I plug in without overloading it? Asia, give me one. Sure, I could plug in the blender. Alex, give me another one. The radio. Yeah, that's it. If I plug in the toaster, that's not going to work, or the hot plate. Good. Jane, you paying attention? These are the word problems. All right. We okay with that one? Okay. So number 2, you order a $1976 hardcover book from a website that offers free shipping on orders of $25 or more. Write and solve an inequality that represents how much more you must spend to get free shipping. So let's figure out our numbers here. What are some important numbers in this problem? $19.76. What else? $25. I think that's it. What about some math action words or some words that could help us write our inequality? Well, free shipping, yeah, but that'll be 0, right? We don't have to worry about 0. Ooh, yeah. on orders of $25 or more, right? Oh, which other one? Oh, how much more do you need to spend? That's true too. How much more? How much more would be like adding, right? Yeah. This or more means $25 or more, like that. That's an inequality, right? That means if you spend $25 or anything above that, you get free shipping. So what kind of inequality symbol do you think we could use with that? Greater than or equal to. Very good. Because if I spend exactly 25, do I get my free shipping? If I spend 26 and anything above that, right? So that's why we're using greater than or equal to. Very good. Oh yeah, we'll define our variable next. But sure, we can define our variable as x. We want to find out how much more you must spend, right? So our variable should be what? What are we trying to solve for? How much more we have to spend to get free shipping, right? So we're spending, if we're spending, well, or what do you use to spend? Money, right? How much more money? You can put X, you can put S, you can put M. Do I care what letter you put? No, as long as when you like define your variable, it makes sense. I'll use M for money. So I'm going to say M is how much more money? Or you could just put money because money is always like a number, okay? So I know that so far I bought this one book, right? But I want to know how much more I can spend. So how do you think you would show that we've already spent $19.75, but I want to maybe spend some more? What do you think we could do? Addition. I'm going to take my 1976, I think I said 75 before, and I'm going to add my variable to it, right? How much more I can spend. And my M is for money. Is greater than or equal to what number? What number are we trying to get to? 25. Good. So that's part of our answer. And then what do we do to find out, to solve our inequality? Dallas? Yeah, subtract $19.76. I would probably get out a handy dandy calculator. Well, I need to sanitize my calculators, so I won't make you go up and get one. It is $5.24. Should I use some kind of special symbol on this problem though in my final answer? I would probably put a $sign, right? That's always nice. Whoa, except that's not really a $sign. Don't know quite what that was. Okay. Lynn, you got this one down? Okay. So M, the amount of money you spend has to be greater than or equal to $5.24. Good. All right, 2 more problems. We live out there still? Okay. All right, number 3. You earn $9.50 per hour at your summer job. Write and solve an inequality that represents the number of hours you need to work to buy a digital camera that costs $247. So I'm making this much amount of money. I got to find out how much I need to work to buy my camera. So, yeah, per is definitely one of the action words. Bailey? Per, he said that per is one of my action words, which means multiply. So I boxed that and put multiplication on top of it. You could do that. You could do that. Yeah, you could box them together because we're going to have to solve for hours. So that's good. You could do that. Asia? Oh, the earn, you earn. You could do that. I would honestly say per is really my only math action word here. We're going to have to use our context clues to figure out what inequality symbol we need. Dallas? Where does it say that? That costs $245. You could, I guess, like it's not quite a math action word, but it'll help us figure out what inequality symbol we want to use. So sure, you could use that. Where are my important numbers? $9.50 and the cost, which is $247. Okay. This one is a greater than or equal to because we know that's the cost, right? So we're gonna pretend like taxes aren't a thing for a second, okay? So if you have exactly $247, can you buy that camera? Why not? If you have exactly $247, can you buy that camera? Why not? I said ignore taxes. But yeah, you're right. If I made you guys take into account taxes. Yeah, we won't get that complicated with it right now. But yes, if you have $247, you can buy it. Are you allowed to have more money than that? Why not? I can't go to the store for more money. But can I have less money? No, I can't have less. So Alex is right. We need to use a greater than or equal to symbol. Good. Now I got to figure out how am I going to get there, right? Well, I'm making $9.50 per hour. We got to define our variable here because this is right and solve an inequality that represents the number of hours you need to work. Asia? H, sure, let's do H for number of hours. Well, how much am I making per hour? $9.50, and I'm using H for hours, so how could I show $9.50 per hour? Yeah, $9.50 times H. Good. And that's part of my answer because I wrote my inequality. Jaden, you got this down? Jaden, you can't just sit there with your head down all class. Okay, if you refuse to work, then I'll just send you somewhere else. I don't need your help, Bailey, but okay, pick up a pencil, do something. All right, so for this one, what would I do to get rid of my multiplying by 950? Divide. Good. So we're going to divide both sides by 950. And again, I don't expect you guys to be able to do this one in your head, and I haven't sanitized my calculators yet. So I'm just going to tell you, if you take 247 and you divide it by $9.50, you're going to get 26. So H needs to be greater than or equal to 26. And that's hours. Okay, good. People at home, any questions yet? No? Okay. Well, oh, that's not nice. But no, I mean, it can be hard. This is, I mean, but. Oh, no, I let you guys use calculators. So number 4, the maximum speed limit for a school bus is 55 miles per hour. Write and solve an inequality that represents the number of hours it takes to travel 165 miles in a school bus. So let's figure out our math action words, or our numbers, whichever. Alex? Per. Yeah. Per means times. Asia? The maximum speed. Yeah, okay. In this one though, since we have the speed, I'll show you in a second. What else? Any important numbers? Yeah, 55 and, yeah, 55 and 165. Okay. Now what makes this one tricky is, since it says the maximum speed is this, it makes the problem seem like you have to use, like you're solving something with the speed, but don't we already know the speed? We know the speed. We want to find the number of hours. So I'm going to do H equals number of hours again. Okay. So I know I'm traveling 55 miles per hour, right? So how do you think I could write that? 55 times h, good. Okay. And now I know I need to travel 165 miles, right? Okay. Now, am I always going 55 miles an hour? Not necessarily, but that's like the maximum. So this is you're trying to figure out what the it's going to be like an inequality of time, right? It's not necessarily going to take exactly this time. We're going to find out the maximum number of time it could take, or the least amount of time it could take. Dallas? Well, so we know we want to travel 165 miles, right? It says that in the problem. It says, write and solve an inequality that represents the number of hours it takes to travel 165 miles. So, yeah, this one's a tricky one because of the wording. You want to travel 165 miles, right? So are you allowed to travel less than that? No, but if you traveled more than that, that's okay because you could still calculate your amount of time. So this one's going to be a greater than or equal to problem. And this one's tricky because it has to do with like speed and stuff. So this is part of your answer. Because, and what makes this one tricky is 55 miles an hour is your maximum speed. You might be going slower than that. So technically what we're finding here is our least amount of time it would take to get to 165 miles. Okay, so I know that's kind of tricky. All right, so then we're going to divide both sides by what? 55. Yep. And we get h is greater than or equal to 3. Think of it as like at least. You're going to take at least 3 hours to get there. Okay, but it could be more. So that's how this one goes.